Okay, so thank you again. Welcome everybody to be here. As we were saying today, we are going to speak about what does it mean, this new cycle of the Golden Age, what is the Golden Age and why it is occurring now. So to understand exactly what this cycle is, we need to understand first of all the importance of the cycles and how affect us as human beings and on planet Earth. So if we see all the cycles of the Earth, the spring, summer, and fall, we can see that it affects us in a way like spring is time for new beginnings, for expansion. Summer, it's time for abundance, and then the fall is when you reap all that you have cultivated throughout the year. And then winter, it invite us to prepare for a death process and then to prepare for the rebirth. So the cycles that the earth experience, it affects us. This happens as well with the cycles of the stars. So the cycles of the stars marks the way that the earth is moving around, and it affects us at a personal level and at a collective level. So as the earth moves around the sun, so the sun is moving around the central sun. And as it does, it travels in an orbit that it takes 25,960 years. So we are going to say 26,000 years approximately, because it's easier to say. And as it does, as it goes through the ecliptic, it spends 2,160 years in every sign of the zodiac, in every house. And this means that during this time, there's a whole theme that whole humanity we are going to experience, just like we experience a different way summer than the fall or winter. Every time we move to a different zodiac sign, we experience different themes that the whole collective is going to go through in all the different levels and all the different phases as a way to learn and to grow. So during this 26,000 year cycle, there's different cycles of evolution in consciousness. So this is called the Yuga times, the cycles of descension of consciousness and the cycles of ascension of consciousness. And in the times that we are go through the ascension process is when we reach times of enlightenment. So these cycles are called the Golden Age, the Silver Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. And the Earth, as moving through the ecliptic, we have already experienced some other Golden Ages, like Lemuria, like Atlantis, like Egypt, and some others. We have gone through 6 different Golden Ages. Why is this so special and unique? We are going to share it as this masterclass unfolds. So as we move through the ecliptic, we enter into a new bandwidth of frequency in which we receive plasmic discharges of light that come from the core of our galaxy. And this plasmic light is highly conductive. And this plasmic light carries information and it transforms our cells. So as the sun is moving through the ecliptic, every time we move from one constellation to another or one house to another, it affects the way that we behave. And now, since 2020, we entered into the Aquarian age, and this means a whole new way to understand life. We came from the Piscean age, And it was a dark age in which we have experienced duality, wars, we have experienced pain, suffering, and we completely shift into this Aquarian age in which the whole theme is about experiencing unconditional love and all that this represents. So this means that we need to learn from every zodiac house, all aspects of consciousness of every zodiac house, and we need to go through the whole process and to learn from the different aspects. This is the way that the soul is growing, and it takes 360,000 years for the soul to learn from all lessons. And now we are going to the process of completing the spiral. We are the process of completing this whole theme. So creation is unfolding through spirals. So there's a spirals in the center of the galaxy, and not only the center of the galaxy, also the way that the planet moves around the sun is through a spiral. And also there's a spirals in our bodies, there's spirals in creation, in nature. Everything is working through spirals. The way that the waters goes through the sea goes through spirals. And it works at a micro level and at a macro level and a micro level. So everything that is happening at the macro, it is always happening at the micro. Is the representation of what's unfolding in life. This is the way that creation was made. So during the solstice of 2020, when Saturn and Jupiter entered in conjunction with the birth star Merkaba, it announced the new age. It completed the Piscean age. We entered into the Aquarian age, and this is calling the return of the Christ consciousness. So 2000 years ago, it was told the Christ, and it will come back, the Christ. And this time, the Christ consciousness is not that one being is coming to help us or to save us. This time is about every one of us is going to go through a process of ascension, of liberation. Every one of us is going to ignite within us this process of Christ consciousness. And this is another whole thing that we need to dive into, but today it's about what it means, this golden age, and what is happening right now. So in all that we are talking about, this astrology is about astrology of ascension. This means that is connected for us to the process of ascension. There's no duality perspective here. So the stars, the way that we are receiving the information from the stars is to be able to do the process to return back home, which is our divine self, which is the connection to the super consciousness again. So as society, we are moving to a new theme, and this is manifesting love into our reality in all areas of our lives. First, it goes within it, and then it expresses without in every area of our lives. And all that is not aligned with this unconditional love, it simply won't work out. Because as we are moving into this new theme, all the frequencies that are coming, this plasma light discharges that we receive, they bring the information on how we need to live and the way that the life will unfold. And it is not just happening for human beings, it is happening for the whole planet. All the species are going through the same process as well. So the way that this new way of living, it means that we need to go through a process of purification of all ways of living that we have experiencing through the whole ecliptic. This means we went through the different houses, we went through different patterns, we went through different traumas, we went through different experiences, we experienced duality, we went through a process of dissension of consciousness, and now we need to go through the process of ascension by purifying and refining and just understanding that we need to completely purify all this programming and return back to our origin. And this is not a process about fighting, it's a process about surrendering and allowing all that needs to break down. It needs to do so because it needs to be able, we need to be able to emerge this new way of being, this golden age, which is transforming our whole beings into this divine love and raising our consciousness to be able to hold this frequency, because this is a higher vibrational frequency within us, and all that is not aligned with this higher frequency needs a deep purification. We are going to talk a little bit deeper about this then. So why it is so important, this golden age, and is more important than the 6 previous golden ages? Because we are going through a super cycle. What does it mean? It means that not only the Earth is going through the solar system, and the solar system is going through the ecliptic, also our galaxy is completing its own cycle, and the galaxy, it takes for the galaxy 230 million years to go through this cosmic year, through the galactic center. 230 million years. That's why this is completely different. And this means the whole galaxy is ascending. The whole solar system is ascending. All planets are ascending. Planet Earth is ascending as well. And all human beings and all beings, living beings on Earth, are going through this process as well. So when this happens, when the galaxy is aligning to the core of the galaxy, there's a completely reset of the timelines, and also because we are aligning to the central core of the galaxy that is called the Great Attractor. And the core of the galaxies, there's the super cluster of galaxies, and all these super cluster of galaxies, they create also this spiral of galaxies, and the center is called the Great Attractor, and it's called the name of Laniakea. It's in our localized universe. So it's completely rare that a whole planet, a whole solar system, a whole galaxy, literally, they shift into a new bandwidth of frequency, and shifting and morphing the structure. There will be shifts in the world in a way that we cannot even imagine. So this is a time for us to prepare for that. This means great purification, huge transformation beyond we never experienced before, beyond we can recall, and even we cannot imagine what is coming right now. So the solar system have cycles, 12,000 years and 26,000 years cycle. And from this position to the Laniakea, it takes 230 million years. So all that is aligning to this powerful Laniakea is rebirthing every planet or every solar system that travels to this new bandwidth. It creates a morphogenetic process. And what does it mean, morphogenesis? Morphogenesis comes from the Greek morph, which means shape, and Genesis means creation. So it means creation of a new form, a new shape. This means that all the tissues, all the cells, all the organisms are going through a new process of creation. So this means literally our bodies are going through a process of transformation. And this is what is called the divine being. So we are shifting from a new species of the Homo sapiens to the Homo divinus. And the Homo divinus is a whole new species in which we are going to be able to hold more light. We are going to be able to hold more love, and our cells and our biology is going to completely reshift our bodies. We are going to be lighter. We are going to expand our vibration and then activate again all our extra sensories that we already have. But in this process of dissension, we disconnected all these extra sensory the extra sensory I mean senses, and that's why we do not remember anything. Through the process we forgot, and now we need to remember, activate, and return back to our origin, what I call to go back home, because this is our divine design. This is the original divine design for the human beings, and we are returning to this original divine design once again. So all that exists, everything is frequency. And this frequency, it may be a higher vibration or a lower vibration. When it goes to the lower vibration, it takes form. But in order to take form, it needs an energetic template, so an energetic container. And there's a different container if you want to create a solar system, a human being, an animal, or a galaxy. Everything is energy. Everything has a different template, and this manifests into form in a completely different way. So the cosmic radiation that we are going to receive transforms the genetic template for the human beings and for everything. But we are interested in our transformation. So it can solve and clear free radicals. It can activate dormant DNA. It will shift the species of the planet, because we are shifting and moving into a new template that is aligned to these new cosmic cycles. Yet, this is not a given. So there has been other cycles of ascension and descension, not only on planet Earth, but in other planets and also in other star systems. And not all of them have reached that level of consciousness. And some of them, they didn't go through the process. That's why it was so important 2012. Because the 2012 was the mark in which humanity needed to reach a certain level of consciousness to be able to go through this frequency band. Otherwise, it wouldn't make it. And it did. But because we are living in a planet that is free will and conscious choice, unless you choose to do the internal work, unless you choose to transition into this new phase of evolution, it won't happen for you. So not all beings are ready for this, and they will be brought into another planet according to their level of consciousness. It's because there will be their choice. It's a choice, and the choice becomes you do the inner work, you do the transformation, you choose to return and go through this process of purification that sometimes it's not comfortable. Sometimes it can feel pain, and yet is the process of purification to be able to upgrade to this new blueprint, which is the divine human. So Our job for this transition to enter into this new bandwidth of consciousness is to come back to unity, to come back to harmony, to connect to the global mind and the global heart. So when you do this inner process, you go into a coherent state, you go into a coherent field, and then you start receiving from this bandwidth of frequency that holds information on how life is going to unfold. It holds the energetic structure, and we start receiving this plasma light that transforms everything. Yet you need to know how to do it, and you need to understand the process, and you need to know where this leads to, and do the internal work. So to be able to connect to this global mind and the global heart, this means that you are opening to higher states of consciousness. And at that state of consciousness, at that state of higher consciousness, your heart creates a toroidal field that is connected to the toroidal field of the sun. At the same time, the toroidal field of the sun is connected to the toroidal field of the heart of the galaxy, and it connects to the toroidal field of the heart of Laniakea. So this is when you are completely open, your heart opens, and then you connect to the whole universe. And then this allows you to enter into state of wholeness in connection with all that surrounds you. It completely allows you to open your awareness to this deep connection with all that it is. So this bandwidth, this powerful bandwidth of energy that come through, they start changing the way that our brain waves state interacts with one's reality. So the more that we do the inner work, and the more we access to these new brainwave states, then is when we are able to access deep, profound healings and deep alignments with the soul's light. We can receive replenishing energies that are going to help us. And this is when we connect to the source spark of light, which is our creation. So when you start tapping into this healing capacity, the brain is like a radio station that is attuning to these different radio stations. And when you attune to the right one, these higher coherent states, is when you start to expand your energy field. This is when you start to connect to higher expanded levels of consciousness. And when you reach the point in which you can access these theta states, in which you can reach the super consciousness. So the veils of illusion are now being removed. Every time will be less and less dense. And this means our physical eyes, up to now, they couldn't see beyond what's in the third dimension. And there will come a moment that almost all the different dimensions will be joining. And this can be, if we do not do the inner work, and we do not connect the different parts of the brain, the left and the right brain, the hemispheres, in a full brain state, this can create like a disconnection, not understand what we are seeing. This can create states of confusion, and in sometimes it can happen that we go back. If we are not ready for all these frequencies that are coming in, if we are not preparing for that, it will come a moment that it's too much what we are receiving, and this can create a step forward instead of going backwards. Sorry. So exactly what is the golden age? What does it mean? So the golden age is a state of consciousness in which you go beyond the veils of illusion, and you access to the truth, the pure awareness of your divine presence. And you are living as an enlightened being in which you are able to transcend time. So we transcend the 3D dimension in which time and space is limited, and we shift from that state into pure consciousness. So it is said that in 50 years, 100 million people will reach that state of super consciousness. Yet, to reach that state, it's an ongoing process of purification, 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 because 97% of the process is purification. And going through the different phases of ascension, evolution, genetic liberation, to be able to free from the wheel of duality. So it's a constant, ongoing process. And this means that you need to activate within you the different stages. You need to activate within you all these frequencies. And sometimes it cannot be done by oneself. You need that someone that has gone through the process and has activated within that person all these frequencies, that it can activate within you the frequencies. Because I will share later on, but all the scriptures that we can read in the different religions, there's different levels of the mind, and we can read the scriptures from the different levels. If your state of consciousness is not evolved, the first level of the mind is that you read the scripture and it's literally. So all that you read is all that you receive, and you are not able to access beyond this information because your consciousness is not ready for that. And I'll share with you the rest of the levels of the mind that need to be opened in order to be able to access the higher frequency and then activate within you this higher frequency. So this the golden age happens first within you, then it happens at the level of relationships, that it happens at the level of communities, and it happens at a level of the whole world. So the previous golden ages, it happened just a level of communities. So it happened in Atlantis or it happened in Egypt, but it didn't happen to the whole world. This time, it will come a time that the whole world would be at that place. So this is what is going to be different, and the earth is not going to descend again. This time it's going to an ascension of spiral, and it will move from where we are right now. And this is the end of duality for all living beings on earth, the ones that they choose, of course. So the golden age begins within you, and this begins inside of you, the cycle in which there will be the ascension process, the liberation process. Liberation means that you have genetic liberation, not only from yourself, but also for your family lineages, seven generations backwards and forwards. You literally are liberated from that. And then, as I said previously, first you do it at an individual level and then at a collective level. And as you do the ascension process, then you merge into your soul family, and you also purify the soul family. So it's an ongoing process of expanding and moving to the next level. It's a never ending process. Yet the first and most important is the genetic liberations, which means free of karma, free of duality, free of pain, free of suffering. And this is the most important process that we are going to move the next years. And this plasma light that is coming in, it will discharge every time even higher and higher frequencies, pushing us, literally pushing, to move forward and to do the process. So this means we need to dissolve all the lower densities that we hold within our unconscious mind. And we need to purify the energetic field. We need to purify the DNA. We need to purify the Akashic records, the meridians, the nadis. So we need to develop the proper receptor points to receive this plasma light that is coming in, to be able to assimilate the energy that is coming. And if we don't have developed the receptor points when the plasma light comes in, then it can create issues at all levels. It can create issues at a physical level, at emotional level, mentally, spiritually. There's people that already are suffering for that. There are people that they start to awaken some sensory perceptions, and they do not understand what is going on, and they feel that they are ill, they have a problem, they go to the doctor, and actually what is happening, they start to receive this, they don't understand what's going on. So all the chakras are connected to your organs and parts of your body, and they need to be opened, restructured, in order to be able to receive all this plasma light, to raise the frequency at the level that is needed. And this means to go through the whole journey to achieve that state of consciousness. So as we have shown the macro picture, this allows you to understand this is where we are heading towards, and we need to bring down at the micro level all this that is going on. So we need to understand where we are going to, and then as we know, how do we do that? How do we evolve? How do we ascend? How do we liberate? How do access to that state of super consciousness and the vibrational and the frequency of the golden age? So that's why I created this new community called the Golden Circle of the New Earth, because it's about to bring the teachings, the path to return back home. It's about returning back into wholeness, back into source consciousness, and back into conditional love. So as we were saying, it's this process first is within and also in communities. If we gather in communities and we do the process together, we enhance the process in an accelerated way. So something that it could take decades for a person, even sometimes even lifetimes, it can be accelerated in that way. So there's a path that one must go through, changing the way that we understand life and how we live in harmony with all that surrounds us and within us. This is the first and foremost important thing, within us. So there's different phases of the soul in which we go through to purify the densities, to prepare for the ascension process, and then the genetic liberation. And it is necessary to dissolve all programming within you. The energetic body, the chakra systems, the Akashic records, the astral plane, the mental plane, the emotional body. And also, it's very, very important to prepare the physical vessel. Why? Because the physical vessel is what it needs to allow to receive these higher frequencies. And if the physical vessel is not prepared, then is when there's illnesses and problems. So this needs a whole preparation at all levels to go through this process. So as you are able to reach more light and vibrate at higher levels of frequency, you are able to bring in more soul extensions. And this means that these are parts of you that were left apart when you had some traumas or some experiences in other lifetimes, in other star systems, and you need to bring them back, because this is about to reintegrate everything all that is your higher self into one being, embodying into the physical form. Ascending does not mean that we leave the physical body. It's ascending the vibration and then embodying the higher frequencies into the body, because we are creating the new earth here, not leaving the planet, but bringing in the frequencies and creating heaven on earth, literally. So the whole body needs to shift completely the endocrinology, the chemistries of the body. And as it does, as you go through this process of ascension, the body starts to secrete a golden liquid that changes the whole biology, and your system are ready to crystallize more light in the physical form. And as it happens, this is when the Christ consciousness starts to occur. And this is a whole teaching, a whole process that comes at later phases. So the first phases is about this deep purification. And as we go through this expanding consciousness, then is when we start to understand what the Christ consciousness is and how it happens within the body, how it transforms that, how we move into this divine human, and all the different processes that needs to take place. So in this process of transformation, the soul goes through different levels of the mind. To be able to go through the whole journey and access all the information, like I told you before, the first level is a level of the mind, is the literal level. All that you see is all that it is. You do not increase your level of consciousness at that level. You are not able to decode information beyond the literal, beyond what you see. You don't access the process of transitioning into higher levels of consciousness. And this is where the most part of humanity there reside right now. They cannot be done by yourself. You need someone that has gone through the process to activate the next levels of consciousness. Then it comes the second level of consciousness, and this is the level in which you start to be aware and the mind is awakened. The third level, the next level of the mind, is when you connect to the divine mind or the heavenly mind, and you start to receive all these downloads. The next level is the fourth level, which is the pure mind, the empty mind. And the empty mind is the level in which you reach the state of enlightenment, because there's no thoughts. And no thoughts, it is only possible when you have already purified everything within you. So the teachings at every level change according where you are able to receive and to understand. So the teachings are set in a level, explained in a way for every person to evolve to the next level of consciousness, because the person that is the level of just understanding literally what is happening is what they see, they are not able to understand the empty mind or the pure mind. This needs to first experience an awakened state, then experience the divine mind in order to be able to understand the rest of the evolution. Also, these levels of the mind, it also correlates to the yugas of time or the cycles of consciousness. And we are shifting from a cycle of one cycle of consciousness into the next cycle of consciousness. And this is where everything that we learned, everything that our mind is connected to the past to look for, to understand what's going to happen in the future, it won't work. Even in the spiritual traditions, even the spiritual teachings, they won't work, because most of the spiritual teachings, they come from the Piscean age, and they are held in a process of duality. So everything that comes from duality, it won't work. And this is where you need to be discerning the teachings that you are receiving, because if they come from a place of duality, it's not going to work anymore. It's attached to the past, and to a past that it's not going to repeat again, because this is a complete new cycle, and this will be different as all the cycles that ever planet Earth experienced before. So how do we live on this new Earth? When you live in a sacred geometric way of life, you are in harmony not only with the inner cycles, but also in the cosmic cycles. You are in a cosmic connection. And when you are at that level, that's when you can travel beyond time and space. And this is another physiologically. So many people are longing to see and experience these higher sensor perceptions, but if their frequency field is not at the right place or at the frequency that matches, sometimes what they see can affect them and push them back in their journey. And this is not going to help them. So you need to create the roots, the right foundations, have a strong foundation, just like a tree, for them to ascend fast, strong, and steady. So you need to handle the frequency that is coming down, because the body otherwise can be into a shock. And this can bring into a freeze mode, depending on the energies and how abundant they are. So the Golden Age circle, the I Am Presence community, this is what we want to offer, all these teachings every month, with transmissions, with preparation for the physical body and preparation for everything, in order to create this foundation to then raise up and steady and strong and bring in all these frequencies in a way that can be smooth, in a way that can be magical. But for this to happen, there's these foundations that need to be in place. So all the transmissions, it's about to remove all the resistances, the obstacles, to then be able to become and transform into love. So when we return back to love, you return back to the source of grace, and then you are living in bliss. And this is what is about this golden age: transform our lives into bliss states, into beauty, into love, into cooperation. It's a completely shift in a way that we experience reality, in a way that we talk to each other, in a way that relate, and in all areas of society, not just the personal level, not just when we meditate, not just when we meet in community, but in all levels of society. This is the great shift that is going to happen. So the fall of consciousness was the fall into duality. So once the five senses started to crystallize more and more, what happened, it was the inability to perceive for the greater senses, which is the pineal gland activating and then opening the crown chakra and connecting to the higher senses. And this is what it means, the fall. The fall means that all that we were able to perceive was shut down. And then it's about to opening and receiving again all these higher senses, which are the original human birthright. And it's moving from the three-dimensional plane into not just the 5D, but also the multi-dimensional planes. Once you open your higher sense perceptions, once you raise your vibration, you just are able to shift into the different dimensions of consciousness at will, and you can travel through your light body. Yet you need to activate your light body. You need to do all these things, and this requires a process. This requires to do the inner work. So this community wants to bring these teachings to return back into this original state and to support you in your connection with your soul. It's about going through this acceleration process of spiritual growth, to be able to evolve in all areas of your life, because all areas are going to shift. Everything is going to be completely different. The way that the relationships are held will be completely different. The way that money, we perceive money right now, will shift. Everything, the way that we relate with our bodies will change. The way that we connect with nature, it will be more in a conscious way. And this changes the way that we eat, the way that we connect with nature. Though everything will be completely different. So it's about receiving guidance on how to heal the body, how to heal the mind, how to manifest, how to be in more balanced and fulfilled relationships, how to be in this flow of abundance, how to find your purpose in life, how to free from suffering and the karma of the past. And karma, it doesn't mean something that you did wrong. It's the cause and effect. You create a cause and it had an effect that it wasn't aligned with the cosmic laws. And it's about bringing all these actions into the cosmic law, and then the karma is complete. So it's about understanding all these teachings as well. So it's about all this community. It's about to giving you support and guidance and information, healing, transformation, supporting you through love and light to prepare you for this universal shift. And this year, 2023, this next month, there will be a huge awakening for humanity. But next year, 2024, the frequencies that will come in will awaken even deeper, even more people, and the soul will start to ignite and calling and saying, this is the time for me. I am ready to ascend and to go through this process. Now what? And this is what is now what? This community. How do I do the process? What is the process? How do I move to the next stages? How do I shift all that is happening within me that I don't even understand? How do I find answers? All this is about the community. And the community is here to stay here, to help people, not just at the beginning, but the whole process of ascension, giving the teachings, the tools, the answers, the questions, connecting people in a way that we create this new golden age together. Because as we are ascending in consciousness and moving in consciousness, we actually create the new earth, literally. We cannot expect that a new Christ come in to save us. It's us becoming the Christ and creating this new earth, becoming the divine manifestors of the new earth. And this is the ongoing process that we are going to move through. And that's why we are going to give all the teachings of the Christ consciousness, teachings on how to connect with the cycles of the earth and the universe. And these teachings is about to ascend, how we connect, but not just to know the information, but how we connect within us with these teachings, and how we transform and how we harness from all that is happening in the cosmic cycles for us to ascend and to move and expand consciousness. So we will be talking about the frequencies of love, on how to heal trauma and how to open the heart and how to access to multidimensional states of consciousness. We will be talking about abundance, unlocking belief systems, unlocking limitations, unlocking genetic inheritance, conscious relationships, how to change the paradigm of consciousness. So it's about talking the macro picture, but we need to bring in this macro picture into the micro And this means, okay, I know now the picture, I know the point, the perspective, and now what? How do I work? How do I reach to that level? What's going on in my life that affects me? Then we need to work on both levels, or all the multi-dimensional levels, on how I change my reality and how I change the whole theme. And we will be talking about spiritual nutrition, because this is about preparing the body for this transition. And it is not about I wanna be fit or thinner, or no, it's about how do I nurture my body to be able to hold more light, to be able to transcend into the divine human, to be able to receive all this plasma light that is going to help me to reach higher states of consciousness. We will be talking about sacred rituals, that it's about creating the new earth. It's transforming daily routine into something special, something unique. It's something magic, sacred. It's applying consciousness in your everyday life. And this means that we can bring some rituals that can change completely the way that we create our daily practice, that allows us to start understanding what does it mean to live in the golden age. Golden age is created by your daily practices, but all that you do in every moment. Golden age is the way that we interact, the way that we place consciousness in everything that we do, in every sacred moment. And as we start to understand that, everything changes within us and all that surrounds us, because all that surrounds us, it's a mirror of within. And we will be we'll be sharing even more about all this. There will be also profound sessions of healing and realigning, and energetic support 24/7, because it's not about we meet 3 times per month and we share and that's it. In the ongoing process, every day when you are home, when you go through your own problems, how do I receive support? And there will be a sacred container for that, that is going to support you in every process that you go through every day as you evolve. It's about supporting all members of the community, creating a golden age community. It's about supporting in all levels. And this means that one of the gatherings will be share and ask. Ask, what problems do you have that you need to understand? How do you move on? How do you step out of where you are? And it's about sharing. It's about creating this community. It's about gathering together. It's about meeting people that are at the same vibration, meeting people that have the same interest, the people that want to move on, that want to create this reality, that are ready for this new vibration, that are creating this new reality and this new world. So many things are held in this container for people to really transition. And this is the golden bridge from duality into that state of super consciousness. It's an ongoing process to keep receiving support, to keep receiving guidance, and to bring in the frequencies, the teachings, the understandings, to move on into this new way of life and create this new reality that it's just going to happen. And now we are in these years, we have periods of time called harmony times. And these harmony times is when the plasma light is coming in, it spreads out through the world, and then it connects with us if we are aware and we do the inner work, and it awakens up. It will come a moment that it won't be harmony times. The frequencies will come, will bombard us every day, constantly. And this can be overwhelming for many people. And it's about supporting all this change. So the next years, it will be overwhelming for some people, and it will be incredibly beautiful for the ones that already did the work. So it's about an ongoing process and what comes next, and what do I need to do next, and how do I create these connections with the earth, with my body, with the stars. How do I understand all the cycles that I went through and I need to purify? How do I harness all this wisdom from all that I went through, and I bring it in my life and all the relationships that I go through? How do I find my place in all this new golden age? What's my divine mission? And all this, it's going to unfold and unfold and unfold during this community. Helping, the goal here is to help and to create this golden bridge. The golden bridge is the key, transitioning from duality into this new level. So, would you like to ask something? Some of you are, is everything, but do you understand everything you need? Do you have questions? Is something that you would like to clarify? Hi, Susan. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. That was an amazing talk, and I resonate with every single part of it. One thing that I've always resonated with your work and working with you is that I've always felt this spaciousness, which my own authentic, creative expression in how I'm evolving, how my inner architecture is connecting with the greater, with the golden bridges and those greater systems, and how I see it unfolding. And it feels like I'm the artist and I'm creating it. It's something unique. And so there's a part of me that turns on when I'm working with other teachers or exposed to other information that just says, yeah, I don't need so many spoons fed to me. I want to be the artist. And so as you're speaking, it just seems like, wow, every question answered and all that information coming. And I'm just wondering if you can speak to that aspect of the community and of the vision, where each person is is emerging in their rebirth, unique and with their own way to do these things, and to evolve in these ways.
So the community, because it starts now, I already tried to start the community some years ago and it wasn't the right moment to do so. Now it's the right moment to start the community, and the community, it will be created itself and evolve as the people in the community will evolve in consciousness. So it's an ongoing process, and we will be adapting to the level of consciousness of everybody. So that's why there will be different parts of where there's teachings, there will be parts of healing, there will be parts of answering questions, and then there will be this process in which we can share and ask, and also this part, it needs to unfold according to the people that are joining the community, in which then we can create these links between people, and we can create this new golden age together. So it will be an ongoing process of developing accordingly to the people that are there. And yeah, of course, there will be teachings that will be sent for everybody, and then everybody receives at the level that they are. And because every information is multidimensional. So if you listen to one information today and you re-listen it the next year, what you get out of it, it will be completely different, because your level of consciousness is in a whole new level. And once you receive it again, you say, is this the same recording that I was listening 1 year ago? Yes, it was, but the information that you get this time is completely different. And this is the beautiful of the multidimensional teachings. Everyone receives what they need. And at the same time, this energetic container raises the frequency of everybody and holds everybody where they need, in order to be able to harmonize the group. And the group itself is going to support each other just by sending love, by embracing everybody. And everybody is at the place that they need to be. They are in the perfect place. And this is what is important, because every evolution for every person is unique, special. And as we understand that, is when we understand how magic is life. Life is special, and every person is completely different, is unique. And at the same time, we are all one and connected. Once we start to understand that, instead of competing, we are cooperating, and we are raising together. And this is the beautiful part of this. And now we are ready to understand this is a new way to live, and this creates incredible growth for everybody, because the frequency of the whole community support each other. Of course, there's the energetic container on all the frequencies, but as the whole community is raising in consciousness, also it is happening for every being, that they feel nurtured, they feel supported, they feel they are special, unique, and at the same time, they feel the connection with all that it is, that we are part of the whole. We are part of this incredible ocean that is source consciousness, that is the frequency, the energy that surrounds us. It is within us, and it is conscious energy. So every cell is consciousness. As we start to understand that, we understand how sacred is life, and we start to shift into this new way of living. So I feel so passionate about this theme, because this is what I have been envisioning for many years, and now is when it is landing, because now it is when starts to be humanity starts to be ready for this process. So all that is coming, it will be incredible. It will be beautiful. All that many of us have been yearning for many years. And now is the time. So everything is incredible.
So that is amazing. And I think it speaks to and it elucidates for me why I've so resonated to your work, as well as why over time I have always had this intuition regarding different programs and different academies and alternative teachings that that I felt that it actually caused me to create my own way of teaching to my students. And I don't have a huge body of students, but when I do speak to them, I do prep them that it's a multidimensional process, not using that word, but very similar. And so my question, which wasn't very specific, was just like exploded in like golden spores of light as you answered so beautifully. So thank you.
You're welcome.
And one other little question is that I sometimes get this feeling, and this was just happening the other day. I kept saying, am I in the past? Am I in the past? Like, I feel like I'm in the past. Every so often I'll feel like I'm not, I'm like time is shifting, and that where I'm at is the past. Is that a thing?
Well, actually, time's speeding up, until we reach the place in which there will be no time, because the consciousness is raising up out of time and space. And sometimes when we are shifting, we have these moments of where I'm at right now, and in the past, in the future, in the right moment. This is the process of the consciousness to move out of time and space, and it requires to keep opening and activating all the frequencies to be able to move out of time and space. And it happens naturally once you do the work, the internal work, over and over again. And then this is where you understand beyond time, everything is happening right now. So it unfolds. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
You're
very
welcome. You're welcome. So do you have any other question you would like to be answered, or no? It seems everything was perfectly clear. Yeah, you can ask Sophia.
Oh, hi, thank you. Um, I was just wondering, I heard about like twin flames, like when you enter the fifth dimension or you activate the fifth dimensional frequency, it's like the portal for other higher, like it's the portal for all the other dimensions or the higher dimensions. And then people say like everyone is your twin flame on that level, but then some people say like, but then you only have one true twin flame that's like at the very highest level, that is like the one soul or the monadic soul, like overarching soul of like the one soul of the whole like mankind. um so I was wondering if you knew anything about that.
Okay. So there's different levels of twin flames, twin rays, and soulmates. Uh, the different the twin flames, there are 7 according to the different chakras, which are levels of consciousness, and there's only one twin ray. Twin ray is the same frequency in 2 different beings. It's the same energy
Oh,
split, yet you only the ones that have already go through the process, it alone, they themselves, through the process of genetic liberation, and they meet, they are able to find the twin ray. And the twin flame, it happens similarly when you go through this process first yourself through ascending. And once you have ascended and you find within you all that you're looking for, then you can find your twin flame. And when you find a twin flame, it's because you are in service for humanity. It's not to just be in love. This is just soulmate, and this can be a person that you love very much from other lifetimes, and you remember from other lifetimes. But this is not a twin flame. The twin flame, it only happens that you find it and you meet each other because you are here in service for humanity. And this happens when you have already gone through the process yourself. So there's different names and different subjects that it depends on who are you are finding and the level of consciousness that you hold. So usually people, what they meet is soulmates, which means you have met in many lifetimes and you recognize this soul. And then sometimes there's something that some of these souls, there's karma to be healed, and some of these souls, you have a deep connection because you have met through many, many different lifetimes. Yes, Sophia?
that was, oh, sorry, I did I press the hand again? That was an accident. Like, that's very helpful. Thank you. 'Cause I think that's what I'm going through. Like I'm genetically releasing like everything that I am, and I'm I met my twin flame, and we've become like each other, and it's really interesting. It's really cool. Yeah, so thank you. Like we do have the twin ray frequency, and
Um,
yeah.
I would say that is a soulmate because, as I already told you, the twin flame, you meet it after you have gone through the process. Otherwise, you are not ready because it's a huge frequency when you meet together, and then so
Oh,
many things can happen if you are not ready for this vibration. So usually, it's a soulmate what you meet after previously to do the work of ascension and liberation. It takes a whole process. The genetic liberation, it takes sometimes years and years of preparation. So yeah, sometimes people use these words lightly and they are not. But yeah, there's many
right.
connections and they are beautiful. And when you find someone that you love so much, this is a blessing, of course. This is
Oh
incredible.
yeah. I don't really love him. I don't feel love for him, but we have a connection, like not a connection, but like it's like our chakras like become like they feel connected, and we have, it's just very sacred being together, and yeah, like, I I start shape shifting, like kind of looking like him, sounding like him, and then he sounds like me a little bit, and we both have the same like spiritual abilities, I guess. So, but
Congratulations that you find someone.
thank you, thank you,
Is
thank
there
you.
any other question that you would like to answer or to receive any answer? Yeah, Victoria.
Hi.
Hi.
Here, Sophia. Thank you. Yeah, I was fascinated. It was an amazing talk. Thank you so much. And I've been doing a lot of work around this kind of stuff anyway, so it was nice to hear more from you about, where we're headed and what we're doing as a collective. You mentioned about our physical vehicle, and particularly this week, I've just felt exhausted. I've been doing a lot of work. I feel a lot of energies coming in, and sometimes, I feel like what's the word, like just so much work we're doing, it can take a toll on the body. I'm hoping that we'll start to euthanize again once we've shifted all the density, and I wondered what your take was on that, because I feel like sometimes I've been hit by a bus.
Yes. So we are in a period in between eclipses, and this is a powerful moment in which we can just, it's like going through an elevator and you raise your vibration and then you can go through a whole new level of in your life. Everything can change in your life in an instant. And this sometimes may be some intense, there may be some intensity in your life, and to hold in and to receive all these vibrations, this means that sometimes the body feels exhausted because it's so much that you are processing within. To be able to receive all these frequencies and to be able to hold it, it's important to do certain things like walking in nature, uh, if possible barefoot, because you need to ground the frequencies. Drinking a lot of water, because water is what allows the light to come into the body and to crystallize into the body. And sleep as well, to nurture your body and eat healthy. So this is the basics. And then start to shifting through the spiritual nutrition in order to be able to hold more frequency. The process is intense. It's not going to end here. So it's about enjoying the ride, because the ride is not going to end.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing all of those. So thank you for confirming that. That's great. And actually, I've been drinking hydrogen water recently, which I've heard
That's
is really
beautiful.
positive.
That's
So,
it's so positive for you, and yeah, because the hydrogen is one of the elements that the body needs. So they keep doing it. It's perfectly.
all
Yeah,
right. Thank you so much.
you're welcome, Victoria. Anyone else would like to ask? Okay, then this is it for today. Thank you to join us, to be here, to all of you. And if you want more information about this community, just reach out or you'll receive more. I bless you all. I send you all my love and light, and see you the next time. Bye-bye to all of you. Bye-bye.